Sure is. It's now time for our new favorite segment, NFL Game Picks, where we pick who's going to win out of a selection of NFL games and go from there. If it was just Noah and I making the picks, we'd put people to sleep, which is why we brought on a guest picker once again. Known for his endeavors such as Sexauer on the Streets and Bazinga Zone, he's the current host of TV10's Handful. Would you give it up for Oscar Sexauer? Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me on today.
And there we go.
There we go.
There we go.
I brought my hype man today.
You brought your hype man. That's pretty cool.
He's always good for that.
Oh, yeah.
Before we get into the game picks, let's check out how we did last week for week 3. We picked 7 games. I believe that Noah actually won that last week. He got 5 correct picks. I do want to explain one pick that hampered our guest last week, Justin. He said that the Bears are going to win if Justin Fields started. Well, guess what? He started, and not only did the Bears lose, they absolutely got... I can't say that on TV. I can't say that on TV. Let's just say it wasn't a good day for Bears fans all around.
Decimated, I would say.
That's more appropriate.
Better word, yeah.
Well, anyway, it's week 4, and out of the following games, we'll talk about 6 of them, offer our expertise as to who wins, and any other shenanigans that go on would be Oscar winning material.
Ooh, I like that.
All right, so we'll kick things off. We'll start with the obligatory Thursday night matchup. Battle of the top 2 draft picks the last 2 seasons. Joe Burrow's Cincinnati Bengals hosts Trevor Lawrence's Jacksonville Jaguars. Guys, what do we have?
Well, as much as I like Trevor Lawrence and as great as I think he's going to be in the future, this Jags team is kind of not it. They look dog water, if you ask me. I think that they can't really put up any... They have no good offense. They pretty much just have to play through Trevor Lawrence, and he's throwing to receivers that are dropping balls, giving up interceptions. I mean, it's not looking good there. They have no run game, and their defense is nothing either. Not saying that the Bengals are the best team ever, but they at least have some options to work with, and they've been working together for a while now, so they can start to put things together.
Well, I think Oscar brings up a lot of really good points, and I know it's something I pride myself on as a sports journalist is not to, go to sensationalism and not to make predictions and say things about sports just for viewers or for hype. But that being said, everybody loves an upset. And on the road, as a 7.5-point dog, I'm really taking the Jacksonville Jaguars this week. Do I think they're going to win? Probably not, but I'm picking them, and I'm riding with them. That's my upset of the week.
Noah says Jaguars, Oscar says Bengals. I say Bengals mainly because the defense for Jacksonville, 8.6 yards allowed through the air, second worst in the NFL. And if we get the Joe Burrow that we've seen 2 of the 3 weeks, Cincinnati's got it easily. All right, now we move on to my team this week. The Minnesota Vikings host the Cleveland Browns. This one seems like it's a toss-up, guys. But is it really?
No. It's not a toss-up. I'm sorry, Blake. I mean, I'd love to be able to root for your team, even though it's the Vikings. But I think the Vikings are kind of frauds this year, so I'm going with the Browns. I know it's 2 road dogs in a row, but the Browns are just much more of a complete team.
I gotta agree, honestly. The Vikings and the Browns are kind of similar when it comes to offense in that they both have decent passing attacks. However, the Browns have 2 big things over the Vikings, and that's one, they've got a Chubb, and he can run for miles and miles and never be stopped. And they also have one of the best defenses in the league, which I cannot say the same for the Vikings. So because of that, I got to go with the Browns.
Well, you see, this is actually one of the few times I'm going to pick the Vikings. But hear me out, guys. Hear me out. Kirk Cousins has time. The offensive line has performed a lot better with Cousins, and he's also gotten more confident getting the ball out of his hand. He's performed well so far 3 weeks. He's completed 3/4 of his passes. And he's been very efficient. No picks this year. He had league-leading 6 picks through 3 weeks last year. And then the defense, they pitched a second-half shutout, I think, against one of the better offenses in Seattle. And let's be honest, Baker Mayfield's been pretty flat this year. And the Vikings, so that means the Vikings' game plan, stop the run, and they will have a good chance to win. I'm going Vikings, and that's my pick for an upset, if you want to call it that one. All right, so now we move on to Oscar's team. And Oscar, I have to question you on this decision, my friend. Who's your team?
Listen, I got to go with my team, the Atlanta Falcons. Now, those of you who know what's up, know what's up. I have recently learned the entirety of the history of the Atlanta Falcons, and I have quickly become a diehard fan. The Atlanta Falcons operate in the realm of chaos. And what better way to express that than a game against the Washington football team, one that really doesn't even fully exist at this point. I mean, it's the Washington football team. If there's ever a time that the Atlanta Falcons are going to take a win for the people, it's right here, right now. Going Falcons all the way.
Yeah, he said it. That's, I mean, you know, yeah.
Listen, I'm not saying that the Falcons are good. They have Matt Ryan at QB, former MVP. Let's not forget. He might not be doing the best this year, but he's a former MVP. He can put it together.
Yeah.
And they have one of the best special teams in the league. That doesn't mean anything, but
No.
they have it.
Yeah.
And, you know, if they can put those two things together in the chaos realm, I think they can take a dub.
I think so too. I think so. Maybe not because of what Atlanta has, which is mostly just chaos at this point, but mostly because of what Washington doesn't have. It's true that they've got a great defensive front four with Jonathan Allen and Chase Young, but they just haven't been clicking this year as well as they're supposed to, and that's really all they have. I'm not a big believer in Taylor Heineke, and frankly, I don't see the football team winning this game.
Agreed.
Well, I see them. I do see them winning this game. And here's my hot take: it's time to move on from Matty Ice. He's been Matty Slice this season. He's been absolutely not. He's been underperforming. And let's be honest, that defense that the Falcons has been absolutely garbage. I mean, Washington doesn't inspire anybody, but the numbers stick for themselves. Atlanta, 31 points allowed, that's second worst in the NFL. Yeah, Matt Ryan, 4 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, no passing offense, so they're likely going to go to the ground. And Washington is potent against the ground game, so I'm going the football team. All right, moving on now. Noah's team, Steelers roll into Lambeau Field to take on the Green Bay Packers. Packers touchdown favorite. Is this really a question?
This isn't a question. This is even less of a question than it would have been 3 weeks ago. Yes, the Steelers have looked pretty good this year. They beat the Bills, who made it to the AFC Championship game. But their highlight, especially with the play of Ben Roethlisberger, their one real bright spot has been their punter. And a team whose bright spot is their punter is not going to come in and beat Aaron freaking Rodgers. It's Packers by 2 touchdowns, maybe 3.
Yeah, I kind of got to agree with that one. I haven't watched all of the Steelers games yet this season. I watched some highlights on YouTube, but I haven't watched their games in their entirety. But I have watched all of the Packers games. And I'll tell you that the Packers, from what I've seen, have, other than that first game against the Saints, been able to put up consistent points and have a decent offense. I think you can expect about 3 to 4 touchdowns out of this team, anywhere from like 21 to 30 points per game. And from what I've seen from the Steelers, I don't think Ben Roethlisberger and his completely non-existent arm can keep up with that production. So because of that, I got to go Packers. Even if their defense isn't the best, I just don't think that the Steelers can keep up.
Yeah, I agree with both of you. The Packers definitely are going to win this one. Pittsburgh is a one-dimensional offense, and Ben Roethlisberger throws 40 times a game. You know, and you said that he doesn't have an arm anymore. Packers, no contest.
Has anyone seen that clip of him like throwing a 5-yard pass and then falling over?
Yeah,
It was stellar. Oh,
that looks like me in gym class in high school.
pretty much.
How about me right now? Sunday Night Football. Tom Brady makes his return to Foxborough, not as a member of the New England Patriots. His Tampa Bay Buccaneers off of a bone-chilling loss against the Los Angeles Rams. Tampa's a favorite on the road, guys, but do you really count out the Patriots?
Yeah, I do. I will. Actually, no, I don't. Sorry. I got him flipped for a second there because of that strong association between Tom Brady and the Patriots. Look, if you've been a long-time viewer of this show, you'll know that I don't hold Tom Brady in the highest regard. I think he's played on a lot of great teams, and I think he's played a big role on a lot of great teams, but I don't think that makes him necessarily any more skilled than 10 or 20 other quarterbacks who have ever played in the NFL. Add that to the way he looked shaken after his favorite target, Rob Gronkowski, left the game last week, and the way he couldn't pull that together. I think this moment is going to be too big for him, and I'm taking the Patriots in an upset.
Now, I don't want to be the person to steal your thunder. However, I'm also going Patriots this game, but for different reasons. As we all know, because they wouldn't shut up about it during the Packers game, Tom Brady has the opportunity to make and break the all-time passing yard record at the Patriots this week. He only needs 126 yards? I think that it is going to be cosmic fate that he gets 125 yards or 124 yards and just completely bombs, misses the mark. He's not getting the record. Patriots.
A couple of very different reasons. But let's look at the numbers real quick. The Pats defense, albeit the team finished at 500 a year ago, the Pats still have talent on that defense, particularly in that secondary with Stephon Gilmore and Devin McCourty. And the numbers show that they are number 2 in the passing yards allowed. I think Jameis Winston only threw for 150 last week. The pass defense is going to be the key because the Tampa Bay offense, if you talk about the Steelers being one-dimensional, Tampa Bay is really one-dimensional. Last week Tom Brady was their leading rusher. A 44-year-old man is their leading rusher. You just can't do that.
Sad.
The Bucs I think dropped the ball on this one. Patriots are going to come away with the win. Easy as that.
I agree.
All right, last matchup this week. The two teams that, quite frankly, shouldn't be where they currently are. The Vegas Raiders visit the Los Angeles Chargers. Vegas is undefeated here to start the year, but the Chargers are favored at home. I got to say Raiders on this one, guys.
I feel like it's not going to be much of a home game. Obviously it's the Chargers. I heard that Cowboys fans filled up more of the stadium, and that's a pretty regular occurrence. But the Chargers, I just don't think I don't think that they're going to lose. They have looked insane through the first couple of games. I did watch Chiefs versus Chargers, and they looked solid on both ends of the ball. I have watched a little bit of the Raiders this year, and they have been able to put up some prime-time spectacular plays. But a lot of those are miracles, I think, and how often can you really bet on miracles? I'm going Chargers.
Well, folks, the AFC West, for my money, is the best division in the league. You've got 4 teams, 3 teams who could really challenge for the playoffs in a big, serious way, and 2 of them play here on Monday night. But the NFL is a league built on mystique. And ladies and gentlemen, I am feeling the autumn wind. It is the Raiders. It's going to be the ghost of Al Davis coming back and proving once and for all that Derek Carr is a franchise quarterback, that Darren Waller is a really good tight end, and that this team belongs in the conversation for the AFC West Championship. Raiders all the way.
Well, there you go. Like I said, I got Raiders. They have come up. They are a clutch football team, and they're going to have a challenge with Justin Herbert coming off that 4-touchdown performance, guys. But I think the Raiders pull off another win. They go to 4-0. Oscar, it was a pleasure having you on the show. It was definitely worthy of an Oscar. So, Oscar people, if you're watching, send some love our way. Thanks again, Oscar, for coming on. As we move on, returning from the program last fall is Game of the Week, where Noah and I